A fitting tune to lead us into this next segment. Vince Gill, look at us. Speaking of us.
Look at you. No thanks.
Di Bassett, what's he doing up so early? Who knows? Di's in for a quick little chat today. 20 minutes to 9 o'clock. Right now, 8 degrees. Still feel cold outside?
Oh, it's mild. It's a lovely morning out at the moment. It's a little bit cool, but you know, you were probably up before dawn, and none of us know what time she gets up, but still, it's a Pleasant Valley morning.
That's right.
Surprising how many trees have lost their leaves, though. My goodness, they blew away.
Yeah, I think my yard is just absolutely inundated with yellows and reds and all kinds of different leaves. It's unbelievable. But nice to see when you go for a drive, you know, as you're rolling through the hills.
Other people's leaves.
Yeah.
Other people's leaves, they're lovely to look at.
I figure if I just wait long enough,
the
lawn will rake itself, just with all the wind that's going.
Well, get a blower and blow over next door. They won't mind.
So Di Bassett is in early this morning. Normally starts a shift at 10 o'clock, but we've got an announcement to make, and Di Bassett, I'm going to pass things over to you.
Well, thanks, Andrew, and I thank you for allowing me a few minutes of your morning show today.
And that's all we got. Thanks,
Right. You say it for me. Perhaps people will understand. Andrew, I've been here, as most people know, from before the station was on the air. I've been privileged to sit in the seat where you are for very close to 8 years. It would be 8 years in January. Vic Garbutt hired me as the first DJ and put his trust in me, and I've had a wonderful, wonderful time. I've made so many friends, and it's been such a privilege to sit in that seat, but I've decided that it's time for me to move on, and so I've left. I am saying goodbye now to the listeners and the volunteers and everyone who's been so kind to me as the immigrant coming in to speak to the voice of the valley with a funny old accent. I've learned to say bank and twang like they do in Cobden. So I'm kind of picking up, but I've been here since the start, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful privilege. I'm not leaving the valley. I'm staying in the valley. I'm going to do some volunteer driving for Renfrew Seniors Home Support, taking people to appointments.
Very nice.
But I'm also going to be trying to make a living with entertainment and emceeing, and also going to be doing my best to help local charities and organizations with fundraisers and things that they have like that. I've got many seniors homes and nursing homes where I go and entertain, call it the happy hour. It's actually happy the hour right after I leave for the people living there. But I've decided I'm going to do more of that and stay involved with the station. I'll be coming in to fill in because you take massive holidays, and
I learned from the best.
Well, good. I'm glad you learned something from me, because there's nothing else I can teach you. But it's been a privilege, and I've loved working with you and the staff here, and especially our volunteers. You know, we go on about our volunteers, and we've all got to realise, and we all do, I think, without our volunteers, whether they be out selling raffle tickets, sitting on behalf of station at events, or all the other things that people do, the bingo and everything, and without the volunteers, none of us would have a job. Mm-hmm. And thank God for them, because they're a true blessing. And the listeners as well. I mean, the response and the reaction we have on this station with our listeners is because it's their station.
That's right.
And so it's been a real privilege. I'll be back to fill in if somebody is on holidays. Now, I'm not sure about the morning show, because that's affected me in a bad way before. Took about a week to recover, and for me as well.
So in case you're tuning in, you caught the conversation that Di are having, because we'd been announcing pretty much all morning that major announcement was coming through, and I think that it was justified in saying that it is a major announcement because, like you said, you have been with the station since before they even flipped the switch at the transmitter.
Yeah.
And you were the first person that I spoke to on air because you were nice enough to kind of welcome me to
just pretending.
Well, I know that
now. Yeah, but I knew it then.
But I remember us having our first chat, and we were talking about the Ottawa Senators, and you were kind enough to have me on the air while I was still kind of packing up in Montreal and making my way down here, and it has been an absolute pleasure to work with you. And I was hoping we could just take a little stroll down memory lane as we try and relive
you've been planning something.
The last couple of years. Here's the very best of Di Bassett. Right now, joining me in the studio is Di Bassett. How are you there, Smiley?
Just super. Thank you, Mr. Happy. How are you this morning? You sound great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome. Just a morning full of surprises. It's brilliant.
Why does Di get a free back rub?
Well, you can. You get one from Brian. I got one from Nicky. I got one from Brian. I mean,
Is that why you've been calling Brian Tender Hands lately?
I haven't been calling him Ten Hands at all. I've been calling him Brian. Oh, I don't know. You're packing on a few pounds here in the valley. The valley people is having the effect on you.
I know. It's the heaviest I've ever been, you know.
But you know, I promise you this. It's not the heaviest you're going to be.
A lot of people think that it's a fake laugh, and it's not. That's just the way I laugh.
If you're going to fake a laugh, you wouldn't fake one like that, would you?
Sorry, you were saying about how fat I looked yesterday.
No, I wasn't saying how fat you looked yesterday. Andrew is going roller skating tonight with some roller derby queens, looking forward to pummeling him in an unfriendly way. Andrew Crash Cartwright has now a care package. Firstly, straws for your meals. Teaching children to say go, sends go.
Yes.
Is child abuse?
Well, Rita feels because she's a big Toronto Maple
Yeah, and
Leafs fan.
this granny is as well. But you know what? I think I'm surprised that they've got time to do that. I thought all the grannies were playing for the Maple Leafs. Get your hands up, up in the club we broke up. I'm doing my own little thing. Decided to dip, and now we want to trip because another brother noticed me.
I never heard that tone come from you before.
By command of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, in commemoration of the 60th anniversary of her ascension to the throne, you are being pinned with the Diamond Jubilee Medal in recognition of your contribution to the community and to Canada. Congratulations, Di.
My goodness.
Y'all done on the phone there? Yeah? Worked together to put that for like 3 hours. He's on...
I was on the phone. But John Yakovetsky's phone to thank me, to say well done. And I'd like to thank John for taking the time. It was good.
I thought to myself, what can I do to get some tears out of him? Hey, he's taking phone.
Yeah, well, hey, you get a phone call from John in his office there. They're all listening in Pembroke on the computer. And I had a yak with yak while
That's
that was
right.
playing, and I'm going to listen to that later on. But I'll never forget the day that Mrs. Gallant came in and that award. You see, we're the voice is, right? We're the ones who people hear. But I know that that award was, and I said, it's because of all the volunteers. And all the volunteers who were here, and since they've said, you know, we had a part of that. It's just like, well, you remember the other award you didn't win? I mean, the other award I was honoured with. But the station were on with it from the Renfrew Mercury, you know, the listener's choice. Well, now you got a chance, right? But seriously, Andrew, right? I mean, it's great to have fun, but one thing we must never do is never make ourselves bigger than anything else. Because when the volunteers come in and they see that plaque on the wall somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. They think we were a part of that, you know. And it's all, we're just the spokesman on a very, very powerful team. And without those volunteers, there's no Valley Heritage Radio, because it's not just the work they do, it's the heart they put into it and the love they have for the station. And same goes for one thing I'm gonna miss is playing a Statler's Brothers song every day for Mrs. Oates and Beth, because I always play a Statler's tune. You might have noticed that. Oh, you like Statler Brothers? Well, I do, right? And a lot of people do. It's been one of the biggest honours, though, has been the privilege of reading the obituary notices, the death notices every day, and that is one of the things when I've always thought along, if I mess anything up, and now you might be able to manage for one time, that's one thing I don't want to mess up is the obituaries, because people deserve the respect that shows, and I've taken that very seriously. And I've just made so many friends. I as you know what it's like. You know what it's like when people see you on the street and they hear your voice and they like to have a tease and a joke and. Yeah.
I think over the last several years, we both kind of had a similar idea of, you know, trying to make the radio station just seem like we're all in it together.
Yes,
you know, we're the guy who's next door to you, and you know you can tease us because we're all a big family. You know, and that's what families do. They rib, they tease, yet it's all in good natured fun.
Yes.
And we're, you know, thrilled that our listeners have picked up on that.
Absolutely.
And as somebody who's been here since day one, I mean, you must have seen quite a few changes.
Oh, changes. Well, remember the earthquake?
Yeah.
We were on air, the earthquake. Was that playing on that?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Right. Well, I'll get back to that later. But, changes, yes, but basically the same principles. It's a family station. It's a Christian station. It reflects the values of the people in the valley, the wide variety of cultures through all the programming, and the people can phone in, and like you say, they can send in, a funny birthday request. Tell Hippie Hoppy or whatever that the gang away, and stuff like that. It just makes it so much fun, doesn't it?
Out of all the names to choose, you choose Hippie Hoppy.
Well, I'm just looking at you, actually, and thinking you've got an AC/DC shirt on, and I thought, I don't know where it came from, but that's the other thing. There's quite a lot of pressure, as you know, with doing a 4-hour show. I've been doing a 5-hour show. It used to be a 6-hour program. Those poor listeners, right? And it's quite a lot of pressure on you every day when it's totally live.
That's right.
Totally live.
I've always felt that we in the radio business have a tougher go at it than, say, somebody who's in television, because they can always yell cut. There's editing that can go on to make the show seem flawless.
Yeah.
Yet us, it's live.
Don't even get a 7-second delay here.
Nope.
I mean, I often do when I'm thinking, but But I really want to thank the listeners. And they're going to keep listening. The station's going to go forward, and it's going to be a change. And a change is as good as a rest. I'm not happy that I'm leaving, but you understand where I'm coming from. I need to do these other things. I'm doing a lot with my singing and fundraisers. Mm-hmm. And by the way, Saturday, the 15th of October.
Here comes the plug.
Saturday, the 15th of November, a fundraiser for Festival Hall with Will and Emma March and Simon Clark. Right, it's a Saturday night, right? And listen to how it's priced: 7 o'clock. $15 a person, but only 10 if you look like a pensioner. So it's the first time half the people in the valley are going to be trying to look as old as they can. There'll be no wrinkled cream going on the week before that. And I'm not just talking about myself.
Well, Di, I mean, I'm going to miss our chats. I'm going to miss the hair. I'm going to miss.
You miss your own hair. Don't start missing mine.
Only guy in the valley that you could fire a gun and the bullet would graze off the
Yeah, but if it hit a bit low down, it'd bounce right back off.
No stranger to hairspray.
Oh, absolutely, yes. It's a good musical. Yeah, I've seen it hundreds of times. And I'm going to miss the listeners. I'm going to miss you and all my colleagues on staff here. But it's been great, and I'm sticking around. So you're stuck with me.
And if people need to get a hold of you regarding emceeing, that kind of thing, best way to do it, maybe Facebook?
I've got a web. Not really. Well, yeah, but I've got a website, which is DAI. That's DAI. BASSETT.com. I'm going to leave some business cards with reception. I won't put, and if somebody wants to come in and grab one, if you've got a fundraiser you want help with it, and I or anybody I know can help at all, please don't hesitate. And so I think I'm going to go and have a cup of coffee now and not prep for a show. What's new, eh?
Di Bassett, I'll shake your hand because it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much. And I just want to say to my English friends, Toodle Pip What, to my Welsh compatriots, Hwyl fawr i chi gyd, diolch yn gwrando, and to the Great Valley people, wherever you may be this beautiful world over.